What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Short Clips Podcast. Today we're talking about a sneaker that's been living in rumor land, sample pics, and grainy IG posts for years, and it's finally stepping into the real world. Virgil Abloh's Air Jordan 1 Alaska just got a release date. If you've been tapped into sneaker culture at all, you already know anything tied to Virgil, Jordan brand, and that off-white style is basically an automatic headline. But the Alaska pair hits a little different, and we're going to break down why this shoe has people excited, skeptical, nervous, and everything in between. So sit back, hit that like button, and let's talk about it. First off, a little context. Virgil's work with Nike and Jordan pretty much shifted the whole sneaker world. That deconstructed look, exposed foam, floating swooshes, zip ties, quotation marks. Whether you love it or hate it, you recognize it instantly. One of the shoes that quietly lived in the shadows of that era was this all-white Air Jordan 1 sample. Over time, people started calling it Alaska because of that icy snowstorm vibe. It was one of those pairs you'd only see in blurry photos, early samples, or on the feet of a very small circle of people. For a long time, if you weren't plugged into high-level sneaker nerd conversations, you might not have even known this shoe existed. It wasn't a mainstream release, it wasn't sitting on apps, and it definitely wasn't on shelves. Now, it's finally getting its moment. So what actually makes the Alaska pair special? Visually, it's a super clean, wintered-out take on Virgil's Jordan 1 formula. Think crisp whites, soft off-white tones, icy touches, and that layered, cut-up construction that made his collabs so recognizable. You still get that deconstructed upper, panels that look like they were taken apart and restitched, exposed foam around the collar and tongue, and the stitched-on swoosh that feels like it's barely hanging on but somehow still perfect. You've got that icy, frosted energy, like a pair built for a snow-covered city shot in black and white. It's not loud in the way the Chicago pair was. It's more calm, more minimal, more if you know, you know. And of course, the signature details are in the mix. The zip tie, the bold text on the side panel, and that slightly aged vibe on the midsole so it doesn't look too plastic and brand new. It's got that mix of luxury, art project, and performance sneaker that Virgil was known for. But beyond how it looks, there's a bigger story here. Virgil's legacy. Every time a new Virgil designed shoe drops now, it hits differently. He's not here to explain the design, to tease pairs at fashion shows, or to remix things in real time. These are projects that were cooked up while he was still with us, finally making their way into the world. The Alaska 1 feels like one of those from the vault ideas finally getting greenlit. On one side, you've got people who are genuinely excited. They see this as a chance to own a piece of history that was once basically unreachable. For them, this isn't just another Jordan. It's a tribute to a designer who changed how we think about sneakers and streetwear. On the other side, you've got folks who are more cautious about it. Some people feel like constant posthumous drops can start to feel like the brand is milking a legacy instead of protecting it. They worry about oversaturation, endless re-releases, and what that does to the meaning behind the shoes. So already, before a single pair hits the SNKRS app or a single raffle opens, you've got a real debate forming. Is this a celebration of Virgil's work, or just another way to cash in on his name? Then there's the other big question. Every time a hyped Jordan gets a date, is anyone actually going to be able to get these? We all know how this usually goes. High heat collab, limited numbers, bots ready, resell pages already bookmarked. By the time you even finish loading the app, your size is gone. You've got three types of people watching this shoe. One, the true fans, people who loved Virgil's work from day one, who might already have pieces from the 10, or who just connect with his story and want a pair they'll actually wear. Two, the investors, people who don't really care about design or legacy. They just see dollar signs. They're looking at resale charts, previous off-white Jordans, and thinking, yeah, this is a quick flip. Three, the casuals, people who just think the shoe is clean. Maybe they don't know the full backstory. They just see an icy white Jordan 1 with crazy details and think, I'd rock that. No matter which group you fall into, you already know this isn't going to be an easy cop. Raffles will be packed, SNKRS will be stressful, boutique signups will be overloaded, and then day one on the resale platforms, Prices are probably going to be wild. Now, let's talk about style and how this shoe actually fits into real life. Because one thing about an all-white high-end Jordan like this, it can either be a perfect everyday flex or the pair that never leaves the box. Some people are going to treat this like a museum piece, double boxed, plastic wrapped, maybe on display in a room with LED lights and acrylic shelves. It's not touching concrete. Other people are the exact opposite. They're going to beat these into the ground. Big wide pants, crop cargos, oversized hoodie, winter parka, letting that white upper get a little bit of character with scuffs and creases. And honestly, that's the tension with a shoe like this. Is it meant to be worn, or is it meant to be preserved? Virgil himself was huge on the idea of people actually using his designs, not just hoarding them. But the reality of hype, resell, and limited numbers always pushes people toward treating them like investments. On top of that, the Alaska colorway also raises the question: do we need more Jordan 1 collabs like this, or are we just addicted to nostalgia? For some people, this feels like a beautiful full circle moment. A legendary sample finally coming to life, a nod to the early off-white era, and a chance for newer sneakerheads to tap into a piece of that history. For others, it's like, here we go again, another Jordan 1, another collab, another reminder that brands will keep retroing and remixing as long as we keep paying. Neither side is really wrong. It just depends on how you look at sneakers. Are they art? Are they assets? Are they just dope shoes you throw on with a fit and go live your life? So when you hear that Virgil Abloh's Air Jordan 1 Alaska finally has a release date, here's what it really means. A once mythical sample is becoming a real release. Virgil's design language is still shaping the future, even years later. The hype cycle is about to go crazy, again. And all of us have to decide how we feel about it. Are you going for it? Are you passing because you're over the hype? Or are you just watching from the sidelines, seeing how wild the resale numbers get? Personally, I think this drop is one of those moments that says a lot about where sneaker culture is right now. We're in a place where stories, legacy, and emotion are just as important as colorways and materials. People don't just want a shoe, they want a moment, a connection, something that feels bigger than just leather and rubber. For some, the Alaska 1 will be exactly that. For others, it's just another Jordan they'll see scroll past on their feed. Either way, it's going to be one of the most talked about releases when it finally hits. Now I want to hear from you. Are you trying to cop? Are you planning to flip? Or are you letting this one sit and just appreciating it from a distance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think releases like this honor Virgil's legacy? Or do you feel like brands are doing too much with posthumous projects? Let's talk about it. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Virgil Abloh's Air Jordan 1 Alaska, and you want more daily stories on sneakers, culture, and everything in between, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the Short Clips Podcast on YouTube, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next upload. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one on the Short Clips Podcast.